Video games have become a major part of the entertainment industry in the last 50 years. They have gradually improved in quality, complexity, and in their representation and portrayal of social groups. They represent far more social groups than they have previously, and now a game exists for almost everyone. There have been hundreds of different consoles, with the most memorable being the Nintendo 64, Xbox, and PlayStation. The representation of women in video games has been far from perfect over the years, but we have definitely seen an increase in inclusion of female characters. While most of these portrayals of female characters in video games are still sexualized visually, female characters are at least being included. However, can the same be said about the representation of women within the gaming industry? Esports is the term given to a sporting competition using video games. The most predominant games in esports are League of Legends, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and Dota 2. These competitions have large prize winnings, and most of the competitors compete as their full-time job.
These are professional video game players, training like professional athletes.
A fraction of a second in this business can mean the difference between millions of dollars. And if we can eat right, or we can sleep right, or we can train right to get that fraction of a second, then we're going to do it, and we're going to hoist trophies.
These players have diets they must follow, a certain number of hours training they have to do each day, and some teams have a psychologist to keep the players performing to the best of their ability. While there are female players and teams in esports, there is a huge gender gap present. Some competitions will allow both male and female to play on the same team, but for the most part, they will have separate competitions for each gender. This is something a lot of people find confusing, as there is no reason men and women should not be able to play on the same team or have female teams compete against male teams. Neither gender has a physical advantage when playing video games. They both only have a mouse and keyboard. This should make it an even playing field for both, but unfortunately it is not.
When I first started playing almost 14 years ago, I was playing with all the guys, and I was kind of showing that I could compete with all of them. And now we're seeing a lot more women that are playing. We kind of have a little bit of intimidation factor because guys don't want to lose against girls in a video game, so we kind of make them nervous when they're playing against us. There's always been female fans of gaming, but now we want women to be more competitors. And teams like my team were really role models and pioneers in this, and showing that you can not only be a fan, but you can compete.
It's a big problem in general of attitude towards female gamers. You know, they would say, yeah, she's really good for being a girl. You know, and first it's like, thank you, but what did you say, you know? It's always felt like, you know, that we are not a real scene for the females. A lot of the community looks at it like, you know, it's just a side game. We don't really count in the World Top players.
Not a lot of girls here because there's not a lot of opportunities for them. The guys just look at them immediately and say no without even checking out their skill or talent. So I find that's just still to be the number one reason why girls aren't on top teams like this.
The prize pool for each league is significantly different as well. To put this into perspective, the highest earning male player has earned close to $7 million in prize money, whereas the highest earning female player has earned just under $400,000 in prize money. Most prize money comes from sponsors of the competitions. The sponsors tend to invest in the male league because of the lack of female players and because the male leagues tend to get more views. Competitive female players also come under a lot of scrutiny online, but at competitions they will usually be treated with respect.
I pray to God that my employers don't Google like my name, because from that you see like a whole bunch of forums like, oh, Sherry's fat, Sherry's ugly, she's a hoe, she's a slut, all this type of stuff. But I've been to all these events and no one has said anything disrespectful in person, and to be honest, I don't think the community would ever allow anything like that to happen.
It can be about the looks, that we are really bad at the game.
I get in trouble for not having cleavage, which makes it like extremely toxic.
I have 15 HP.
It's so hard to like live through the comments, and I try not to read any, but it's impossible in 2016 to like shut off from all the attacks. It's like impossible.
A spectatorship for gaming has grown in recent years on streaming platforms such as Twitch, YouTube Gaming, and Facebook Gaming, with each platform becoming increasingly more saturated each year. Watching people play video games instead of just playing video games yourself can be a confusing concept for those who do not play games. The appeal can be to watch somebody who is exceptionally good at the game, who is entertaining, or to see what a game is like before you buy it. For the most part, people will watch those who they find entertaining. While most of the time the streaming community is a wholesome one, this is not the case all the time, and a lot of the time streamers will be victims of trolls or abuse in their chat. This is pretty much always the case for female streamers. Unlike in esports, women do have equal opportunities on these streaming platforms in terms of the amount of money they can make. Revenue from Twitch comes from subscriptions, ads, and donations. This means that both male and female streamers can earn the same amount as each other in theory. Most streamers' main source of income will be from sponsorship and brand deals from outside of their streaming platform. So, are female and male streamers equal? No, they are not. Female streamers have to undergo a lot more scrutiny than males do on these streaming platforms. They are judged more harshly on their appearance, their skill, and how entertaining they are.
Just get a boob job. That way people don't look at your horribly deformed face.
That was one of the meanest donos I've ever gotten.
This is something that male streamers do not experience to the extreme that women do. This does not mean that people are not mean or critical of male streamers, but if you have ever read the chat of a female streamer, you will understand what I mean.
This has been a little bit hard with chat, like... Everyone's just so mad at me. I just want to play games and entertain.
Female streamers will mainly receive abuse about their looks. People will call them fat, a slut, ugly, and an abundance of other negative terms. Male streamers don't have this type of abuse hurled at them every time they go live, which makes females have a much harder time on these platforms.
The way I get harassed is often about how they would rape me, about what they would do to my body, about why I don't deserve to be there because of I use my sexuality. So it's all extremely graphic and horrible stuff.
This treatment of female streamers is a direct reflection of how most female players are treated when playing online games. They will be met with abuse from teammates via voice and text chat. This can be because they are performing badly or simply because they exist, are a female, and are playing video games. I'm not saying all males will treat women this way if there is a female in their lobby. However, from my experience, and if you were to ask any other female gamer whether they have been verbally abused while playing a game simply because they are female, they will say yes.
What the fuck was that?
Shut the fuck up. Do me a favor, leave this lobby. Shouldn't even be on here. Can you do me a favor and get me a poppy bagel with the extra cream, please?
You shouldn't be playing this game. This game is a boy game.
Oh.
You're a girl game.
Alright. No, we want to kick you because you're being a royal asshole. That's why we want to kick you.
What are you talking about, you fat slut?
We don't want to play with you. That is exactly why we want to kick you.
I'm playing with a bunch of kiddies, and on attack side...
Jet wants you to stop playing Valorant and make him a sandwich.
Nelly.
Nice holding secret, purple. Stupid bitch.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, I think Mercy's not working out for you, dumb cunt. Learn how to fucking play a proper character. 45 hours and you still suck. I guess girls just suck at video games in general, you fucking stupid whore.
The poor treatment of female gamers can also be seen outside of video games. There are many stereotypes associated with female gamers, such as having all pink setups, spending thousands of dollars on a gaming PC just to play low skill level games, and also playing just to get attention from males. This can be seen across many social media platforms such as TikTok, Reddit, and Twitter, where a large number of people will comment or reply negatively to girls posting about being a female gamer. While having a fully pink setup is not a bad thing, people really enjoy pointing this out to be a negative thing. The assumption that girls will spend a lot of money on a computer only to play Minecraft, which even if this is true, why does it matter? And also that females only play games to get attention from men, when in reality, girls will play games because they enjoy them and not to get the attention of men. The question at hand is why? Why is the playing field so uneven for women in all aspects of gaming? Is it because the stereotype that video games are for boys is still ingrained in most people's brains? Does it stem from the lack of female representation in video games when they were first being released? We can only hope that in the years to come we will see more female characters within games, more female players in the competitive scene, and less toxicity towards female gamers in general. While there have definitely been improvements to all of these elements of gaming that I have mentioned, it is still not enough to consider the playing field even. We need to make the gaming scene a more welcoming community for females so young girls are not afraid to take interest in this hobby. We also need to hold our friends and teammates accountable when they are treating women poorly. This is the only way the playing field can be made even.